Welcome to Mystical Messages. I am Hilary Harley, your podcast host. I am a soul guide and astrologer. Mystical Messages is your podcast gateway to discover and learn more about the realm beyond the veil, including all things intuitive, metaphysical, and the healing arts. To learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit hilaryharley.com. If you would like to read my monthly forecast, you may find the full written transcript for all astrology episodes on my website. That way, if you hear something and want to re-listen to a forecast or check a date of a cosmic event, you may find it on the written monthly forecast on hilaryharley.com. Today, I am so delighted to have my very special guest, Brad Johnson of aetherex.com here, and also of newearthteachings.com to discuss his work. And welcome, Brad. Thank you so much for joining me.
Heather, thanks for having me on today. Appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you found yourself on your metaphysical journey.
Yeah. Well, I won't go too deeply into it because people can read it on my New Earth Teachings website. You can find it on the About Us page because it is quite a long journey. But in a nutshell, it all started back in 2008. And in 2008, I was not into any of the stuff that I do right now. It was something that was a complete and total curveball, really. And I just started to write a novel. I wanted to write a novel about extraterrestrials. I wanted to find out the real truth about what's really going on, because I've always had a fascination about the extraterrestrial presence, about that kind of topic. So I just started doing a lot of research. I went online, I went onto YouTube, I started looking into people who channel, I started looking into psychics, intuitives, people who were ex-Black Ops community personnel, and they're all just talking about their personal experiences with ETs. And they would say that, they're extremely intelligent, they're very much like us, a lot of them are very much human, and that they believe in a one infinite creator. And that they also say that as you meditate, you can actually go and connect with them. And I thought this was absolutely profound. I never had any idea about this because I was always into science fiction. I was always into like ETs and stuff like that, but it was never portrayed as Hollywood portrays them. They're very lovely beings. They're a lot of them are here to assist us. And I wanted to really have some type of contact with them. So what I did is I decided to put the book aside and say, you know what, I'm not going to worry about this right now. I wanted to look into this and really get into this a lot deeper. And this is what kind of led me into the path that I walk today. So I went into my library, took out a book called Learn How to Meditate, read it from front cover to back cover. Within about less than 2 weeks, I was doing all the exercises and I was going into profound, deep states. I was going into these different realms, and there's like these floating crystal balls, and I was able to touch them with the astral hands, and I was actually feeling the physical sensations of almost like electricity just coming through my body. And I would go to sleep at night, I'd start getting these profound dreams, I'd start waking up just getting these downloads, getting these recall states about the cosmos, about the universe, about different beings, about how the cosmos works. It was
in a very short period of time.
Yes, it was pleasantly overwhelming. So I would just, I was married at the time, and I was trying to explain to my ex-wife about all this, and she thought I was just going crazy. So all of this really just culminated more. Like even today, I still get the occasional, download through dream state.
Right.
And so this really led me onto my path. So like I said, I put everything that represented the old world behind. So I gave up the idea of trying to write a novel. I did write it, but it was a couple years later. But I wanted to really get into this a lot more deeper. This felt like it was the missing part of my life. It was my spiritual life that was always kind of in a void, and this was a way to really wake me up. So I met all kinds of different people who were channelers, who were psychics, who were intuitives, who were just showing me what they were doing. I wasn't really looking to learn from them altogether, but just got the idea, kind of like from a journalist perspective,
right?
What they do, how they go into the states, how do they connect with it, how do they know that what they're receiving is true information. And they would all give me just different perspectives as well, too. So I would basically take all, like kind of like trim the fat and just take the core of everything that really mattered. And I'd start doing that myself. So I'd go into channeling states. I would do what was called channel writing. I would just go and have my notebook. I'd start writing things down as I go into these kind of, very, for me, simple meditation states. For others, it's like, how the heck do you get so deep into these? I said, well, just you turn it on. That's all you do. And so
Right.
I would turn it on and I would start talking to these different collective consciousnesses. And it wasn't until one day a friend of mine who was also a channeler said, well, Brad, I was tuning in tonight and it feels like there's a strong connection with Sirius with you. It feels like the dog star Sirius A, that there is a contact there that's looking to connect with you. And I was just getting a message to let you know that that's what's happening. You should maybe want to check this out. So I said, okay, great, thanks, I'll do that. So I went into my state and I connected with Sirius. Basically, all I did is I just opened up my heart. I tethered myself to the star of Sirius A, of how I projected into my mind. And through that, a being came through. And this being introduced himself as Adronis. And he basically, his flow just came in through so smooth and so beautifully, and so powerfully as well, too. He just said, I am Adronis of Sirius. I am a future version of you, 297 years in the future. I have come back at this time to assist you in your spiritual evolution. And as you and I work together, we will also be helping others to move into their spiritual evolution as well together, which means everything that we do together will be shared with others. Is this something that you would like to do with me? So I agreed. And it just, the fun began, really. But it was becoming so much fun in that sense that I really had to say, okay, am I really doing this? Am I going crazy? What's going on? So I had to go out onto my balcony. It was a nice clear night. It was around just around the end of the summer. And I just went out and I just said, you know what, guys, I really appreciate everything I'm doing, but I need to make sure that this isn't like made up in my mind. I want to make sure I'm not going crazy here, right? If any of you can just show yourselves in the sky, if there's any allied ships that can come out and just show yourself, this would help me in more ways than you can imagine. 5 to 10 seconds later, a little star blew over the sky, shot itself right across the sky in 30 seconds, for a full 30 seconds. And it just went from one side of the sky to the other. And my ex-wife went out there and she saw the exact same thing. So I'm like, I told you, I prayed for that. I intended that. And she still thought I was going crazy. So, so eventually it led to me having to leave the old life behind. And basically I meant when I mean I had to leave the entire world behind, I really did. Everybody thought I was going crazy. Everybody thought I was losing my mind. I really lost all my friends, my old friends. I lost a lot of my family because I was going on this path, and this meant more to me than anything in my entire life. And I just knew I had to pursue it, and I had absolutely no support from the old system, so community, I had to basically kind of go through a sacrifice. You kind of have to sacrifice everything to know this is what you really want, and I did, because this meant the world to me. So since that time, I've been developing myself through metaphysics, through consciousness, looking into many different facets, because I've always been interested in many different things. It's never just been one or two things. It's always been interesting. It's always been channeling. It's always been mediumship. It's been remote viewing. It's been Akashic Records. It's been healing. It's been many different modalities of healing. It's been yoga. It's been qigong. It goes on and on very, very extensively. So throughout these past 15 years of being in this journey, I've researched so much stuff. And it's not just the idea where I'm data collecting. It's the matter that I'm putting all these things into practice. Because if it's just data collecting, to me, that's just useless. You want to make sure you're applying everything that you're learning. And that become an authority of that application. So this has really been my journey for the past 15 years. And here I am now. I've worked with tens of thousands of people all over the world, helping them out, because I would go into these states, altered states of consciousness. Adronis would come through, and he would basically just share their souls with them. He would show parts of themselves that they didn't even know that they had. And this was daily. And I would get this every single day. Every single day was like an adventure. So throughout these past 15 years, there's been a lot of accumulation of knowledge, and this is just a drop in the bucket. There's still so much more, but like I said, it's not that it's coming through me; it's coming through the intelligence that really it's the true nature of spirit.
So I'm very appreciative of your detailed explanation of your journey. I know we want to talk about many more things and what you're exploring and showcasing right now, and learning and practicing. But one of the main purposes of my podcast is for people starting out on the journey to know that they're not alone. And you, as a male figure in particular, this industry is dominated by females, as you probably know. And so it's very helpful to hear about what you went through, and that anybody listening that is just starting out on this journey to know that you're not alone. There are many, many resources. Everybody that is walking this path has gone through very similar, probably not identical, but many of the same steps and trials and tribulations and joys and discoveries. I mean, it's an incredible journey of self-awareness.
Yes.
So I just want to talk about Atherex. What is that? You've described it as an online metaphysical store.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a line of products that people can purchase.
Yeah, it's something that has been in work several years in the making. And basically, when I first started, I had another product. This is one of the other products here. This is what's known as the healing code cards. And I started off with this back around 2018, 2019. And it was just such an incredible hit. People just absolutely loved it, because what I did is I would imbue source energy directly into geometrical patterns contained on each card. And these would be specifically for areas of the body. So I have a body deck that works with your physical body. I have a mind deck that works with your emotional and your mental body. And I have an energy deck that works with all three. So people started trying it, and I got so many emails from people like, Brad, this has literally saved my life. I've had like asthma, and I had one woman who dissolved her asthma within minutes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yep. I've had people who have cleared away back problems. I've had people who have had chronic conditions. They started clearing it away, and I didn't even know how profound it was myself. I said, okay, I'll imbue these codes, getting these codes from source and putting them into the geometries. And the result was so overwhelmingly profound. It was by far the most successful thing I've ever done. And so this is where I wanted to take it to the next level. And I said, okay, well, if I can do that with cards, and I can do that with clothing,
right.
I can do that with beds, I can do that with crystals, I can do that with all these different types of products that I have. That's just every day. So this is where Etherics came in. This is where the inception of it came in. So it started just early this year. And I was creating bed kits. So basically I would have sacred geometrical patterns on bed kits. And it would basically be kind of like an all-in-one healing technology. A lot of people talk about med beds. And I said, this is not really a med bed, but it has the spirit of it within it.
Okay.
So people are going in. I've had people who are able to reverse their diabetes. I've had people who are basically able to heal their Parkinson's. I've had people in that sense who have been able to heal back problems. I've had people in that sense who have been able to heal arthritis.
Can you describe what the bed is constituted?
Yeah, well, basically, it's
without giving away trade secrets.
Yeah, it's pure source energy. So what I'm doing is I'm going into a certain state of being, and I'm aligning myself to putting codes directly into the geometrical pattern. So I imbue them. So it's all what we would call pure thought state. So you're going into pure thought, almost like a pure state of intuition, and you're commanding the source energy to go in. And it does require a certain level of development within yourself to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I've taught people how to. I have students who I've taught who are able to do somewhat to these lines. I go into a little bit more of an advanced level. But you go in and you just start putting these pure intentions of intuition, of thought, directly into these geometries. And the geometry holds the source vibration code of your intention into it for as long as it needs to. So it's kind of like you're seeing yourself as the caster. As the caster, you are putting all of these energies in. So you're imbuing them. You're, in a way, you're kind of enchanting them into the geometries that are holding them in. And as soon as you're able to print that geometry exactly as it is over and over and over again, this can work with 1,000 people. This can work with 1,000,000 people, right? So you're basically just reproducing. I would say not reproducing, but basically copying the same geometry as it was originally designed and printing it out in this way. And through that specific geometry, it contains all of those codes. So these codes, in that sense, are what's coming through. So it comes through pure source energy. Like I said, it does require kind of an advanced level of development within yourself to get to that point. But
so are you working with the being from Sirius as you're doing this?
Adronos basically would talk about these things in the past, but no, not really. This is really going all the way to spirit. This is going all the way to source consciousness. And you're basically, I would say, you're talking to God. It's basically, I would say, thoughts from God, words from God. It's something that is pure intention. It's not something that has any form of agenda. There's no ego basis within it. Everything is just pure intention to heal. It's pure intention to make the body well. And that's exactly what you're putting into it. So I have certain areas within these decks that would say, okay, there's one for the brain, there's one for the kidneys, there's one for the heart, there's one for the lungs, there's one for the cellular body, etc. So all of these different areas are basically being rejuvenated by people. So I get a lot of people who are quite intuitively sensitive, and they feel like they could just hold this and their body would just start shaking. Their body
Hold
would
the
just start
deck.
jumping. They would start shaking. Oh my God, it's so powerful. This is so powerful. And you may hand it over to another person. Oh, okay, it's not doing too much. But then they start working, even if they don't feel anything. They just notice, oh, wait, I had this problem with my throat. Now it's gone, but I wasn't feeling anything working. And saying whether you feel it or whether you don't, it's working on you. Right?
Okay.
So it all just depends.
Wild.
If you do feel it, that's great. That's a luxury. If you don't feel it, that's okay too. It's still working on you. So with the therapist, I'm basically just taking it to the next level. So I'm creating simple bed kits where you have a duvet cover, you have a bed sheet, you have pillowcases, and you're just laying down on your bed. And all of a sudden, as soon as you activate it, because I instruct you how to activate it, you're getting these profound healing effects. So it's not just bed kits. I'm working together, like I said, with crystals. I'm working together with amethyst. I'm working together with organite. I'm working together with basic clothes and accessories as well too. So there's a whole plethora of different things on the website that's helping you additionally with your healing journey. So I always say that this is an addition to your healing journey. It's not a replacement for anything. It's just something that's additional that's helping you, that can really assist you about with your healing journey.
Right. It's support. It's a support. So this is all available. The deck, the bed components, the bed kits, atherex.com. I just want to spell that for everybody. It's ATH.
Oh, sorry, AETH.
AETH. EREX
No, it's AETH. Yes, it's a little bit tough. So you have to kind of see it like ether. So AETHERX.com.
Okay. So and you can Google that and it'll come up. And my guest is Brad Johnson, who has developed this metaphysical online store. And let's also talk about New Earth Teachings. That's where people can have one-on-one sessions with you.
Yeah, this is the website that's been around the longest. So I've had that website now for several years, and I've had other websites before that had different names. But it's basically just come on to newearthteachings.com. So that is where I'm offering a couple of different sessions. One of them is just a private one-to-one session with me, whether it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 45-minute sessions in length. We basically talk about anything you want, whether it's the idea of you want to look more into healing, whether it's looking into the idea of getting personal advice, personal coaching, whether it's the idea of wanting to enhance your professional business, whether it's talking about soulmates, whether it's looking into ETs, whether it's just wanting to know more about universal knowledge, whether it's thinking that you're in a struggle, you need help with that. Like I said, what I offer is very, very vast. And like a private session is kind of like, okay, here you are in the middle of the library. What do you want to look at? So then basically I just pull it up and help you along with whatever you require. There's also a 3-question sessions email. So basically you just ask me 3 questions and I get back to you through MP3 recording. And a brand new session is what's known as the Yoga Nidra hypnosis sessions. So basically what this is Yoga Nidra is an ancient practice. It's been with the yogis for many thousands of years. And Yoga Nidra basically represents yogic sleep or psychic sleep. But it is, in that sense, has a certain hypnosis-like quality to it. So I've been experienced with Yoga Nidra for a while, and I've decided to make a kind of a rendition of a different type of Yoga Nidra that kind of combines a lot of deep hypnosis together with the Yoga Nidra platform. And through this, we're able to go into looking into other lifetimes, past life regression. We're able to also look into healing. This can also lead to instantaneous healing, depending on how deeply one is immersed through the state. We can also look into astral exploration. You can go and you can talk to your star family. You can go and you can talk to love who transitioned. You can go and you can talk to angels. Or we can even go right into the Akashic Records. We can look into your book of life. So these are options that are available through the Yoga Nidra. I refer to them as journeys. So these are options that you can choose through the Yoga Nidra. And I just basically take you through it. Basically, anybody can do it as long as you have some type of somewhat strong visualization. You want to have a little bit of visualization because it helps me to guide you when you're able to see these things and experience these things. So as long as your visualization is somewhat fair, then that's good. Then we can certainly work together with that. If not, then I would suggest working with private sessions with me. But basically, you're going on an adventure. You're going into a whole experience. We can look a lot more deeper in regards to karmic roots. We can help to clear a lot of those out. We can look into other lifetimes. You basically witness yourself going through the death process, and you move into talking directly to the higher self, to the soul, to God. And we basically get a lot of answers that need to come. So whether that's through incarnation, whether that's through healing, whether that's through the Akashic Records, or whether that's just through the nature of you wanting to explore astrally, you'll have the ability to do so. So with the yoga nidra hypnosis sessions, and that's on yourteachings.com.
That is quite comprehensive. So it's not just one modality. You're accessing right, right. Oh, quite a different variety. Is there one thing that you consider your specialty?
Oh, wow. Well, a specialty, I would say basically the whole idea is I'm helping you to realize how free and how true you are as a powerful infinite being, right? So really what it is my goal is to basically take you through an enlightenment process. Enlightenment really needs to be your first and foremost goal upon anything else. And the way what we could define enlightenment is one who knows themselves. And one who knows themselves is basically one who moves into those enlightening states. And the whole idea is that some say, okay, I got to the finish line, I got to enlightenment, I think I'm good. No, that's the beginning, right? Step number one for your true spiritual journey should be enlightenment and nothing else. And what that means is that we need to do a lot of surrendering work. We need to go within, we need to start releasing, we need to start harmonizing ourselves, we need to start peeling off these veils, peeling off these layers of ourselves that represent the falseness of ourselves. So everything that represents, like I said, these cluttering that has come upon your being, that's exactly what we're working to heal. We're working to clear away those layers so the bare naked truth of yourself is revealed. And I have developed very simple and free methods on my website, on my YouTube channel as well too, that teaches you exactly how to go into states of surrender, how to go through release work, and just being able to really clean yourself up. And the good news is that no matter how different your problems are, the process to clearing them always remains the same. So it doesn't matter what you have. It's even if people have PTSD, right? I can work with those people. It just means that they have made the situation so horrifically almost impossible for themselves. But we just start inching along bit by bit, and we just start clearing away layers. We clear away layers. We clear away more layers. And then we realize, oh my goodness, this PTSD, I can get through. I can clear it away. Because as long as we stay within the body, as long as we stay within the mind and we are hooked on that, then your problems are going to be very, very intense for you, to where the point where you feel it's almost impossible to clear them out. And really, this is the whole idea, is that when you start to work with releasing, it is the only possible way to free yourself from the problems that you have. So this is exactly what I work with people with one-to-one. Like I said, I do have videos where you can work with yourself. But what I've noticed is the majority of people want somebody to work with. They don't want to just do this themselves. They want to basically have somebody who can instruct them, who can coach them, who feels like, okay, am I doing well? Am I doing this right? So this is why even when I put up a lot of free stuff, I still got a lot of people that come to me. So, and it's true, 3/4 of my client base is female. So I say about 75% out of the tens of thousands of people that have come to me have been women. I'm glad that there's been some men that are coming in as well too, because there are. But women basically, I feel, want this more. And yes, I'm very open to helping out both genders.
So it's also, what I'm hearing you say, it's not just trauma such as PTSD, but it can also be, or anxiety or depression, but it can also be but it can be the programming and conditioning that we've been raised in. Yes. That prevents us from accessing a fully liberated life and fulfilling life as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also people who feel like, oh, if I get into this work, then I basically just have to sit on a couch and meditate all day. So, well, that's not it. You're not robbing yourself of life. The whole idea is that when you make a decision that's true to you, be resolute with that decision. Set goals for yourself. Make those goals happen. And you want to set goals for yourself. And as you set goals for yourself, you're looking at all these things that are the anti-goals. You're looking at the hurdles that are standing in the way. Okay, I want to achieve this, but this is in the way. Great. We want those things in the way so that now we can realize that they're there. And now we can start taking them down. We start peeling them away from ourselves altogether. So that all that remains now is your goal. And now you're there. So, okay, great. You've achieved that goal. What's next? And now it's just a matter of a checklist, and you're just constantly checking off these goals and saying, do you see exactly what you're doing? You're clearing away these hurdles, and all that remains is your true ability to do and to be whoever and whatever you wish to be.
Right, which can be very daunting for people when, I mean, the scene or the image that comes to mind is from Shawshank Redemption, the movie, where there was an old librarian who had been in the prison for basically his whole life. And he came to the end of his sentence and he was released and he had no idea what to do with himself. Mm-hmm. And so do you facilitate? I mean, part of what I'm hearing that you do is bear witness, not just accompany people on their journey, but bear witness. And so does this continue as they're releasing?
Well, a lot of what I do would actually be to do to them what would enable them to be themselves. That's the whole idea. So through my process, there's work. Through my process, I am doing to help them being, right?
Okay.
So my doing is helping them with being. So it's basically in that sense of saying that beingness really is the key. Now, again, beingness is not about sitting on top of a mountain and having an alms bowl and eating rice for the next 25 years of your life. It's the idea in the sense that you are stripping away everything that you feel has personally restricted you from being able to know what life truly is. The idea of actually being a human being is something that has been so profound that many of us don't even know. We think we're in this little simple human body. Do you know how long it took for you to get into this alignment, to go into being a human being in itself? That is what we would consider to be one of the biggest rewards from spirit itself, is to actually incarnate as a human being. This is not for amateur souls. These are not for novices. Every single person on this planet is a master. And this is exactly what happens, is the master forgets their way. They stumble, they trip over themselves, and now they're complaining because they've stumbled, because they've tripped, because they've fallen. And the whole idea in that sense is I'm just teaching you guys, okay, it's okay to fall. It's okay to trip. It's okay to stumble, because now we're just looking at the very thing that's caused us to trip, to fall, and to stumble. And now we can let it go. It's not to say that you're going to be devoid of challenges. You're going to have challenges, but you'll now know exactly how to meet those challenges head on so that you'll be able to continue to grow and expand yourself. So really the whole idea is for you to know your bliss, to know your happiness. And happiness is what you truly are. Bliss is what you truly are. It's not something that needs to be acquired. It's not something that needs to be attained. It's what you are. You are that. So this is exactly what I teach them.
So what are some of the prompts that people, that brings a client to you? Is it curiosity? Is it a crossroads? Is it a crisis?
It's all the above. So really, it's all based upon how whatever a person is here to do. They may just be curious about what I'm doing. And they say, right, I've watched you on YouTube and I thought I'd maybe just come by and talk to you. So, okay, sure. What's on your mind? Well, I'm having this problem with a relationship, or I'm having a problem with my job. I'm having a problem with finances. I'm having a problem with my family. And I just talk them through it. And I go through, okay, let's work on releasing all those things. And let's set goals for you in the meantime. What is it that you wish to achieve? Oh, maybe I feel like I want to have a little bit more financial stability. Okay, great. We can achieve that. How is your relationship with money? Oh, it's horrible. Well, that's exactly what we need to fix, right? Because those are the hurdles that you're tripping on. So we basically just start to shrink down those hurdles altogether. So it all just basically depends in regards to whatever a person needs. Like, I'm really here for a person. As long as they come to me, like, I don't really seek them out. They always come to me. They're drawn to me. And as they're drawn to me, then I can go ahead and work on them. So maybe some of them don't even really want to talk. They just want, okay, I'll just go to etherics and I'll grab a bed kit and I'll do that. Great. Sounds good. Then you go ahead and you work with that bed kit and you notice how these things are changing. And you may start to get ideas. Okay, maybe there is something where I could require some coaching, some mentoring in that way. And that can happen. So whether you want to speak with me, which is great, that's where newer teachings comes in. Whether you just want to go ahead and work with healing, to work with what I have with etherics, that's great as well too. So both of these are primarily available for me.
So I'm sure people are referred to you, but do most people find you through your YouTube channel?
Usually YouTube, Facebook, through word of mouth, referrals. I'm quite around in the internet, so there's a lot of people that know about me. So I'm constantly telling, oh yeah, my best friend told me about this, or my friend told me about you, and so on and so forth. So a lot of it is referral, a lot of it is YouTube. They just watch my YouTube videos and they finally just say, okay, fine, I'll talk to Brad and I'll get this in because it
So
looks like
search.
work. So then I'll talk to someone who's doing this work.
So say search YouTube Brad Johnson, and you would come up.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. If it's not a football player or something like that.
Yes, I think there is a similarly named compatriot. So,
yeah.
What do you think is the greatest misconception about what you do? I mean, do you have people that you have
people think that I can basically do everything for them. People think that I can snap my fingers and all of a sudden they're all better. I don't have to lift a finger. Brad can do it all for me. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And a lot of people get that impression saying, right, I'm a screw up, I'm a mess up. I don't know how to fix my life. I'll just go to Brad and Brad can fix up my life. So that's not what I'm here to do, because that would involve me trying to live your life. And I don't have time to live your life, right? Only you can live your life. So a lot of people basically want an easy button. They want an easy button to press and think that I can come to them and just with a snap of the fingers, I can make them. Oh, guys, if that was easy, I wouldn't have spent the last 15 of my years of my life trying to work on myself, right?
Right.
So it's that I'm happy to assist you, but I'm here to guide, to help, to assist, and to support. But I'm not here to do these things with you. And it's a very common message that a lot of other people who are helping as well too say, we're not here to do this work for you. We're here to assist you. We can be a guide. We're like a tutor. Now, it's how you're a co-pilot, right? I'm a co-pilot and you're in the pilot seat and you've already charted the course. You're flying the plane. I'm just there to help you along, being your co-pilot, right? And that's really what the relationship is. But there's a lot of people that want a quick fix. And I've had to constantly tell people so many times that that's not what I'm here to do. Assist, guide, and to help you, but not to do this work for yourself. Just showing you about how simple it is if you're willing to change, because your willingness to change is number one. That's the priority.
Well, and it would also, if you were able to do the work, that would be a major interference in their soul work.
That's why it can't have to be done. It doesn't even matter if you go to the greatest master that you meet. You go to Jesus. Jesus still isn't going to do the work for you. Jesus is only showing you who you are underneath. That's exactly why he did the miracles that he did. He's only trying to show you who and what you are underneath, behind all of those things. Because what will happen is if you continue to go back into those patterns again, it will resurface. But you have to remember exactly what it was like to be free from those patterns. And that is the liberation there. Oh, I remember that I had that, so I can go back. It's like when I've done healing on people, they felt great. But a month later, they go back into the patterns again because they're not healing their patterns. I said, we have to remember what it felt like when you had that small window of what it felt like to be free. You were completely free of the patterns. You need to surrender to them. You need to let them go. And you now live that life as that patternless being. And that's your liberation. It's a sneak peek. It's a little trailer for you to realize that's who and what you can be. But like I said, when I'm doing healing on people, it's just for a short amount of time until they change their patterns, then it'll be permanent.
Right. So please spell the name of the company because I don't want to.
So it's Aetherx. So it's AETHERX.co.
Okay. And I just want to talk about what do you feel you're offering that distinguishes you from other practitioners? I mean, is there any
if we're looking at Aetherx, for example, there's no competition for that. There's nothing like that that's being offered anywhere in the world. And I know this because I've looked, right? And really the whole idea with Aetherx is, like I said, we're taking everyday items and we're putting the power of spirit directly into them. And so, like I said, you're wearing a t-shirt that heals you, right? This is one of them right here. It's just wearing a little t-shirt with a geometry on it. And this is working to help heal the organs of the body. So basically in that sense, if we're looking at the big brand names, right? H&M, Lululemon, right? Under Armour, all of that, they're great, but they do not offer this. Now, what happens if we use something of that caliber and we're actually putting healing technology into that? This is basically what Aetherx is all about. So it's taking something that is next level. It's taking something that is really bringing in the power of spirit so that you're using common everyday things. And there's no competition like that. I haven't found anybody else who's doing this. There's people who will do like enchantment of bracelets or do enchantments expensive necklaces, they'll start imbuing crystals and stuff like that. Yeah, that's great. But this is taken to the next level. We're actually programming codes specifically and with great intricacy directly into this. So it's not just, oh, yeah, I'm getting a nice buzzing energy. No, this is not about buzzing energy. This is about actually being very thorough and going in and scientifically cleaning out your body with these codes. So it's very, very different than just getting like an imbued crystal or something like that. It takes it very much to this level.
And remind us, it's the bed kit. It is the deck.
There's clothing. There's organites. I'm trying to go through my list of different things that I have right now. There's pillow shams. There's so much. I'm trying to remember.
So a lot that you can have.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can get. Yeah, apparel, accessories, bed kits, blankets. Like I said, the healing code cards that I have, it's known as the Etherics card decks. Those are available. Sunglasses you can wear as well too, that basically work to heal your eyesight and your brain, helps to bring the harmonics of your brain and basically balance the hemispheres all together with that as well too. There's socks, there's shoes, there's a whole bunch. Just go on the website and check it out. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
So what would you say is the most favorite part of the work that you do?
There really isn't, because it's the whole work itself that really is the bliss itself, right? If I basically had a favorite part of it, then that's what I'd be focusing on. But it's every particular facet pertaining to the work, because it's to help you remember that you're God, right? Every part of it is to help you remember that you're God. So whether you're being a healer, whether I'm counseling somebody, whether I'm coaching somebody, whether I'm guiding somebody, whether I'm helping a person to get over their situation with their lost job or problems with their family, it's all God. Right? There doesn't need to be favoritism. So I basically try to get favoritism out of my life altogether, because everything that I do is true bliss, is true happiness. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be doing it.
Is there a one or a best way that somebody can prepare for a session with you?
Not really. No, you just talk to me. That's it. So I don't really need you to do anything. I don't need you to do like 20 hours of meditation before you talk to me or anything of that nature. You don't have to have a background. You could be completely brand spanking new to this whole situation and just want to talk to me. And I'm happy to talk to you, right? But I'd say maybe watch a couple of my videos at first, just so you kind of get the idea of what I offer. And then once you have that, you say, okay, yeah, Brad, it seems like a person I could talk to and I want to talk to him. Sure, great. Then we can set something up. We'll do a booking for a session, or maybe you want to do a yoga nidra, maybe you want to do a 3-question email, maybe you just want to check out Etherics and just start looking at some stuff there. Great. All of those are completely fine. I don't have any preference to a person. If they're drawn to me, because it's exactly what I tell Spirit to do, is to draw them to me. And as long as they come to me, I'll help them out in any shape, way, or form that I can.
So when you're doing your one-on-one sessions, are you bringing in the being from Sirius, or is it strictly direct line?
Sometimes it can be through me. Sometimes it is also a direct line. So basically it just depends in regards to what the person is. I'm just here to, like I said, be a co-pilot. The pilot basically needs to chart the course. They have to navigate. So, Brad, I want to find out how I can heal this thing with my family. Okay, great. Do you want to talk to Adronis? Do you want to talk to me? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, you can decide. Sure. Okay, you and I will talk. Or if there's a question that they ask, okay, Adronis will come through and he'll give some great sharing with me. Now, Adronis is basically some being that is on the same plateau as I am. It's not like he's up here and I'm down here. On a physical level, that might be true. But in regards to what I can receive, in regards to what he can receive, is exactly the same. So I basically bring him in more so for the person's benefit, not for my own. So back in the old days, I was bringing him in also for my benefit because I was learning a lot of these things. Okay. It's gotten to a point in that sense where that's not needed anymore. And I'm basically bringing him in for the sake of others, not for my own. Not for my own sake.
So I find it very interesting that we're talking about Sirius right now. And for anybody that's not familiar, it's the sun, Sirius, and it is you can describe it better probably than I can. It's a sun many, many millions of miles away. But we're in a window in our calendar right now where it's very close to our own sun in Cancer. Our sun is in Cancer the Crab right now, and it's conjoining with Sirius right now. And we just happened to pick this window to have this conversation. And I thought, wow, that is some incredible divine timing. Um, so do you have any other projects in the works that you want to talk about? Any future plans that you're thinking of developing?
Right now, I'm just working on getting an Adronis series going through a live streaming platform right now. So I'm currently in talks with them, and we're going to start filming some episodes with Adronis. So basically, we refer to as wisdom transmissions. And basically, I'll have Adronis coming in. He's going to be talking about the entire story about how humanity came into being, how we incarnated into these bodies, the earlier parts of life, about the first humans that came upon the planet. So it gets very, very extensive. We kind of grow out from there. He'll also be talking about practices and stuff. So it's basically a series that's primarily based on him. And he's going to be sharing a lot of this knowledge. Coming through, I'll have little snippets myself as I come here and there, but he'll mostly be the one that's kind of the forerunner of it. So it's basically looking into a lot of our ancestry. It's looking into our stellar ancestry. It's looking into the nature of the soul, about how the soul incarnates. There's a lot of science in it as well, too, in the best way that can be described through these words, through language. So that is currently in the works right now. I'm also developing an academy that's going to be coming in August. It's called the Etherics Academy. So I'll be able to be taking on students. So it's not clients, it'll be students that'll be coming in. So that'll be coming in August as well, too. So there's an academy and there's a TV series.
Oh, wow. So a lot in the works to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And did I hear you say your conversations, you'll be able to, like, a channel on Sirius XM or?
No, not Sirius XM.
Okay. It's the planet. Okay. The sun. Okay. But how will that platform appear?
You'll find out. I'm just, like I said, I'm still kind of in the talks right now. So once I share that, it'll be up on my social media. It'll be up on YouTube. Okay. So people will definitely know when this starts to happen. It's just a matter of me filming a multitude of episodes for it. And it's kind of like if you guys are into Gaia TV, if you're into Netflix and all that, it's very much like that. So we're basically doing a streaming service. So I'll basically have episodes with it's called Wisdom Transmissions, and Adronis is coming through. It'll be all nice and professionally done as well, too. So it'll look really nice. Okay. So that's, I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't hear correctly. Yeah, it's not Sirius Radio, but it's just a new platform that's coming right now. I can't say too much, but it's put together by a friend of mine. So he's known about me for quite some time. We've known each other for a few years. So he's finally getting this platform up together, and he's inviting quite a few people. There's quite a few people that I know as well, too. They're going to be part of it. So it's going to be very interesting.
That's really exciting. So if somebody is just starting out on this path, are there any special resources, books, tools, classes? I mean, obviously working with you to help.
That depends on their plethora for what kind of books they want to read. What I would tell them is basically going into the Yoga Sutras. What I would basically tell them is going into Kriya Yoga. What I would tell them is actually looking into much more of the ancient texts. I'm not too much in the vibration of people that are doing the modern books. Right? It's missing a lot of the core, and a lot of the core is the spirit. The spirit is actually found a lot more in the ancient texts. So I would basically look into the idea that maybe you want to read the Mahabharata, that maybe you want to read the Bhagavad Gita, that you may actually want to read the Bible. Okay, these are basically much more of the heartfelt books. These are occult books, but they have the greatest heart in them altogether. Right? I've also enjoyed the idea of, if it was a modern book, it'd be the Law of One series. Mm-hmm. Or if it was a modern book, it would be the Anastasia books. It'd be the Bringing Cedar series. But books aren't your answer, right? They're giving you a certain reflection. They're kind of helping to put a stage, set a setting for you. But what you're learning can't be done through books. It needs to come through your heart, right? So books are just being that reflection. They're being that reminder. But I'd say the farther that you're able to go back into the ancient times and read those, that's where you're going to get a good clarity to help set the stage of where you want to go.
And I mean, I just want to finish up with the last couple of questions. You must be noticing the just huge waves of young people that are coming into the belief system, and they're open to embracing all of these ancient traditions that are now being given voice by new platforms and technology. Can you speak to why? So, I mean, I understand it astrologically from their generational markers, but can you explain or understand what is your understanding of why so many young people are drawn to these?
Well, firstly, because they're heart-centered beings. They are an entirely different new human race. They are nothing like the old generation at all. They're completely the opposite. The old generation was more of a third chakra race. That's basically what they were. They were the doers. They were the rebels. They were the ones who were basically blazing the trails. They were being the pioneers. They were standing up to authority. And the new generation doesn't care about any of that stuff. What they care about is to follow a heart path. They want to be very, very loving. They will connect to nature. They will be very highly intuitive a lot of the time. A lot of them are technical geniuses. It's like looking at miniature Nikola Teslas that are basically coming forward as well too. What Adronis has also said is in the next couple of generations, it's your children that's going to turn you into a spacefaring civilization. The children are going to invent all of the technical doodads and gizmos that you need to basically start going out into the stars. It's basically getting close to the time now where we're going to start graduating from a planetary civilization to an interstellar one. And it's the children that's going to get you there. The children are basically coming in and they're just radiating love everywhere. Right now, of course, some of them have been going through abuse, and this is why it's very important. We want to work with the children so that they're not losing sight of why they're here. And a lot of them, like I said, are just very much a heart-centered race. They're all about the environment. They want to make sure the environment's taken care of. They want to work with the earth. They want to try and help people in that way. But many of them, like I said, they're young and they need the experience of the elders. And so a lot of us elders are basically just too caught up in our own garbage. And this is why I'm helping a lot of the seniors as well, too, to help get them out of their garbage and their funk. Oh, these young people do this. Well, because they're heart-centered, right? You've been very much navel-centered your whole life. And you need to get out of that because that's not the time that's ahead right now. You need to start opening up the next marker. That next marker is the heart center. And that's exactly what these children represent, especially the young ones. The little children that are coming in are geniuses. And they're going to be really pushing the envelope as well, too, to, again, bring love to the next level. And, again, a lot of the old generations are not going to be able to understand them. But the whole idea, as long as they can get behind them and really just say, these are your innocent children, and it's about getting behind them, follow their lead. Stop thinking that you're the leader because you're not. It's children that are the leaders right now, and you need to get behind their heart and you need to start shining that light because that's what's going to really heal the world. It's not through the idea of arguing and fighting and retaliating and feeling you need to rebel against everything anymore. You've done that. We've already done that. We're past that right now. Stop living in the past. Come into the present moment because it's a heart center that we're moving to.
That is really well said and so important because children really, if we let them lead, what a different world we would certainly be
very different world. It's very much like the world that Nikola Tesla envisioned, where you would not have telephone poles everywhere, you would have wires throwing everywhere, you would have all this technology that's trying to kill you. You would basically have all this particular form of technology that's based on Nikola Tesla's work, where you would be able to become a starfaring civilization, and Earth would be so beautiful. That is our future, but we basically have to get out of the old gunk first.
And my final question that I ask for all my guests is if you could change the world for better in some way, how would you change it?
It doesn't need to be changed. It's already changing right now. So there's no need to change anything of what is already changing. We've already asked for the type of world that's coming through. We're going to the transition of it right now. And it's exactly where it needs to be. You're going to see more changes unfold. We've already done our work. It's just a matter of being able to go through the transitions that we need to go through so that you see that the earth that's coming is the one that you've asked for. It's already happening.
Thank you. You were the very first person in 3 years that I've been hosting this podcast that has said that. So I'm a big believer in divine timing and divine order, and I very much agree with you. So thank you very much, Brad. My guest has been Brad Johnson, and I will let you say the spelling of your company.
Yeah, so it's Etherics. So that's AETHERX.co. You can call it Etherx or Etherics. That's fine. A lot of people get confused by it, but AETHERX.co. That's where you can work with getting the products. And if you want to join me for a session, a yoga nidra session, a private session, then you can go to newearthteachings.com.
And also, you're widely available on YouTube as well. If you search Brad Johnson on YouTube, not the football player, the metaphysician.
You can type in Brad Johnson New Earth Teachings. That'll be an easy way to find me.
Perfect. Brad Johnson New Earth Teachings on YouTube. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Mystical Messages. To learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit hilaryharley.com. If you would like to read my monthly forecast to check dates of planetary events or cycles, you may find the full written transcript for all astrology episodes on my website. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in today. Please join me again in 2 weeks when I will bring you the forecast, the astrology forecast for the upcoming month. I wish you so many blessings as you journey forward.